This week, I've been thinking a lot about how much my life has changed since becoming a mother, probably because I'm approaching being 1 year postpartum now. I've also been really drawn back to the garden, wanting to spend my extra time there sowing more seeds and tending to the few plants that I already have in the ground. And today I wanted to chat about both of these things and the shifts that I feel in my identity on this journey of matrescence. If you're new here, my name is Robyn and I am a 30-year-old stay-at-home mum to a gorgeous baby boy, and I'm really trying to figure out my motherhood journey right now. I love gardening, I loved having a flower farm, and I'm really trying to work my way back into my cottage garden and growing flowers again, whilst also balancing all of the motherhood jobs that I have to do each day. And today I thought I would just chat a little bit on this topic because it has definitely been on my mind for a while now. This phase of life is incredibly hard to describe, as I've dreamt about it for so long and gone through so much physical and emotional pain to get here. But I spend my days caring, playing and loving this little being who is developing and learning at such a fast pace, and honestly makes me so proud. Thankfully, most days now have a sense of familiarity to them without a lot of the anxiety and dread I felt in those early days when I'd be left alone with my son to look after at a time where I really didn't even know how to look after myself. However, there are still days where I catch myself reflecting on life before a child and longing for the time that I had to pour into my hobbies, grow my business, or to just wake up at a time that I choose myself. And I think that's just what matrescence is. It's a constant evolution of wild emotions and feelings that you don't control anymore. Now, without sounding too poetic, because I don't particularly want my video to go in that direction, however, my garden always does like to remind me that change is natural, and although uncomfortable, it's very, very inevitable. And sometimes that growth that really needs to occur is very quiet and invisible and happening deep beneath the surface. What I know that is changing a lot is just how I see myself now. Because when I became a mum, absolutely everything changed, and a lot of it felt pretty uncomfortable. I still feel a constant push and pull of enjoying this wonderful, amazing and mind-blowing experience of having a child, but also feelings of desperation to return to my old life and how things were and the identity that I once held for myself. And while I am very multifaceted and there's so many different things that I kind of tie my identity to, one thing that I really do miss is how much time I could pour into my garden and just spend in my happy place. I really, really miss it, and I find myself thinking at the moment how I can spend some more time out there and how I can not really regain that past identity that I held for myself, but how I can work it into who I am right now and balance those real needs and desires that I have for myself with everything else going on in my life right now. For our family particular, and probably like most, it takes a lot of scheduling and organizing so that I can have the time to go out there and get a few jobs done. Some days I can manage an hour or so out there in between Scott's meetings, and other days the scheduling just really doesn't work out because I'm desperately grasping for just like some me time where I can just lie down and read a book or go on my phone and just zone out. I'm still on my journey of using my phone less as a distraction and dopamine fix, but some days there's just nothing left in the tank and that's just all I need. This time in my life of raising a small human and hopefully more to come in the future, I've decided is best just spent doing little things here and there, including working in the garden, and the rest of my time just enjoying motherhood and being with my son by getting outside and exploring, like going on a beautiful walk like we did the other day, getting out into the national park and just getting some fresh air, which we both really, really needed. Or some days that's just being cozy at home and spending some time together inside, like playing with some toys or reading books or doing some baking and doing all of those other things that I know bring me fulfillment. They might not fill my cup like gardening does, but they definitely bring me a lot of joy and I know just help to create a magical childhood for Grayson. I'd love to one day get back to growing flowers on a larger scale, and I'm really trying to figure out how to do that and how to balance that, and or whether it even is possible or not. But maybe eventually I can grow flowers a little bit more on a larger scale and set up my flower farm again, or sell some bouquets where I can, or work on just these YouTube videos in my spare time. But I do really like to dream big, and I need things to be excited about in the future, whether that is the gardening activities that I get to do next week or something bigger. I'm someone who needs to hold on to dreams and goals and remind myself of them to make it through the week sometimes. And I think that's why I love gardening so much and I miss it so much, is because you can set different goals like growing different plants and seeing them come to fruition and being able to harvest things, then being able to cook with the produce that you grow. There's so many milestones in gardening and all of those different checkpoints that you can meet, and sometimes they don't work out. But for some reason, failing in a gardening activity or growing a plant doesn't upset me like it would something else related to like my business or working with other people. I'm definitely a much more relaxed person when it comes to the garden. I'm really excited over the next year when we do make our big move onto our own property, because I've just been feeling like I've been living in limbo for years now as we wait for our new house to be built, which has been very financially stressful in the last year, I will say. And growing a garden where we live now, whilst it's been so rewarding and so eye-opening and a great learning experience, it's been a little sad to not be able to plant like a lot of perennials or put money into this garden to kind of just see it come to full fruition and to see like garden rooms shape, which I'm really, really excited for in our new property. But even small things like starting seeds here and growing annuals and harvesting flowers, even for now when I'm sowing seeds, I might not see the plants come to the point where I might harvest things depending on how long we're going to be here. But they have been really helping me and my mental health, and reminding myself to give myself grace in this period, which was my word for the year after all. And just reminding myself to get out there and to get back in the garden, because I have been really missing it in this first year of motherhood. And I'm really excited to just see what we can create here for the time that we'll be here, and also just pour my heart into a new garden, which I've already started planning and thinking about and selecting different varieties of plants to one day create my absolute dream garden with all of my different garden rooms and be able to share that with my family. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and maybe it made you feel a little less alone if you are a new mum yourself, or if you've been on this motherhood or parenthood journey for a few years now. I hope this can encourage you to really just get out and do the things that make you happy and that make you feel good. I've heard from so many mums out there that kind of resonate with the topic of identity and how it shifts when you do enter motherhood, and I'm sure it is the same for a lot of dads out there as well. And I really don't think a lot of this is shared publicly a lot of the time. Maybe in like your inner circle where you have a little bit of a smaller group of mothers or dads, that's where these conversations can kind of happen. But a lot of us, including myself, I don't really have that. I don't have that village. I don't have a large group of mums around me. And a lot of my friends who do have kids are at different stages to me anyway. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on this topic and maybe make someone else feel a little less alone. Honestly, I do feel a little sad sometimes that I'm not making a lot more garden content like I used to, and sharing all of the harvesting and the flower farming that I used to do. I'm still a little lost in like the direction that I want my content to go in. I'm always changing my mind at what I want to share and what I want to create. I have so many endless opportunities though of like where my life is going and things that I want to create and pursue, and only now do I feel like I can kind of dabble in a little bit of that and start some bigger projects that I'm working on. However, I do want to share a little bit more of the garden on this channel and still kind of keep the cozy weekly vlogs going, just sharing like what's going on in our life. However, I think I really do want to start some kind of garden series for the summer, just to document a little bit more about what's happening in the garden. So I think I might do like some garden diaries, maybe like a weekly chat about what I've been working on in the garden, or what I'm harvesting, or what I'm growing. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. It would probably help me out as well to give me another reason to get outside. Sometimes I need that just little extra push, and making these YouTube videos and showing up here and being consistent actually does wonders for my mental health and gives me a little bit of a solid purpose to work on and to have something for my brain and my thoughts to go towards. So I think that's what I might be doing. It's probably not going to be an extra video each week, maybe like a few extra each month if I can manage the editing. The editing is definitely what gets me with making these videos. I can film so much, but then putting it together, I need a solid few hours or at least like half a day to do that sometimes. So maybe I might try and figure out if there's a way that I can document a little bit more of the garden that's a little less edited but still shares what I'm doing. I was going to do a little bit of a Q&A with this video, but I think it's just getting a little long and I want to finish it off here. So I am going to do just a bit more of a sit down chatty video, and I want to do like a self-care vlog over the next few weeks, and I might answer some motherhood questions there. So if you have any, I do already have a few and topics that I want to dedicate a little bit more time to discuss, but if you have any questions relating to motherhood and gardening, just balancing those kinds of things, or YouTube or anything like that, let me know and I will dedicate a separate video to answering a few questions, because I've got some really good ones that I want to chat about. So I might leave this video here because we've got some crazy weekend sounds going on around us with lots of construction. I might leave it here. It was a little bit of a different one because I wanted to just get my thoughts out there, because I've been thinking about this for a while now. I know one day I will be able to create the content that I really want to create in terms of creating garden rooms and beautiful permaculture spaces. It's not here at this property. It will be soon, so I can look forward to all of that. Thank you so much for being here throughout all of the different stages of my life. I really appreciate it. Any support you want to show in terms of just liking this video, subscribing, leaving me a comment, whatever you want to do, I would love that. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a lovely, cozy day. Bye.